Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
Breaking news as police have arrested a 32-year-old woman who's accused of leaving her 2 children at home with a dead body. Amber Barrett is in the Cass County Jail tonight facing charges that allege she left her children and 4 of their friends with the body of Farouk Shahid, who died from a drug overdose. Now on to a story we're following out of Bemidji, Minnesota, where police are asking for help in finding the mother of 4 after her family says she never came back from a Tinder date. 29-year-old Katrina Gulbranson's mom says Katrina left last Wednesday and hasn't been seen since. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley talked with the mom today. Bailey joins us live in the studio. Bailey?
Mike, as you can imagine, Katrina Gulbranson's mom is extremely shaken up and worried about her daughter's well-being. She did not want to talk with me on camera today, but says Katrina left for her Tinder date last Wednesday and says since Sunday there has not been any activity on Katrina's social media or cell phone. But several people have reached out to say that's not true, telling us Katrina has been active on Facebook and has even been FaceTiming people. And while her mom says she has yet to hear or see from Katrina, Bemidji police say they have had sporadic contact with her. Police say Katrina has stated she is fine, but has yet to go to the nearest law enforcement center to confirm her safety. Now, her mother says this is not like her daughter and says she's been the one taking care of Katrina's 4 young children the last week, saying they miss her terribly. Now, Bemidji police say they're working out-of-state police agencies as well as the Bureau of Indian Affairs as they believe Katrina is no longer in the area. Mike.
All right, thanks, Bailey. Gulbranson is 5 feet 2 inches tall, 140 pounds. She has long brown hair. She has tattoos of initials on her inner wrists and a tattoo on the back of her neck. She also has a mole under her lip. She also goes by the name of Trina Smith, and anyone with information about her whereabouts, you are urged to call police. We are in the midst of several winter weather challenges. Today, it's been continued cold temps. For the latest on that, let's go to Hutch, who's here with your no-wait weather planner. Hutch?
Well, we've been sub-zero since last night. Wind chills are still biting across the valley and low temperatures as we began the day. 25 to 30 below in Grand Forks. Wind chills approached 50 below as we went through the morning hours. It did not warm up much, although we saw some sun. Clouds building down to the south for this evening. We have very little going on the radar, but we do have temperatures that are diving. So early this evening, quickly falling temperatures between 10 and 20 below for most locations. Wind chills between 20 and 40 below early this evening, but we are actually going to warm up overnight. There is a wind chill advisory for many of our valley counties, northwest Minnesota and much of North Dakota. And in Fargo, you can plan on temperatures dipping close to 15 to 18 below early this evening. Then the wind takes charge from the south, Mike. It won't be balmy at midnight, but if you do want to go out for a walk, it'll be around 6 below with wind chills about 25 below. I have details on that winter storm we're watching. We'll have snowfall expectations. It could be blizzard-like conditions for some, the very latest in your hour-by-hour forecast in a moment.
All right, we're going to need to know. Thanks. If you're flying Delta ahead of the weekend's winter storm, people are urged to check their flight statuses frequently. Officials say Delta is also offering a waiver for travelers flying tomorrow out of Minneapolis-St. Paul. Travelers will be able to rebook their flight without paying change fees. They'll also be able to cancel trips with the unused value going toward a future ticket. The school district in Bemidji, Minnesota is being sued by parents alleging that the district ignored reports of sexual exploitation by a former assistant principal. Documents say the parents of the 2 victims exploited by former Bemidji Middle School principal Brandon Bjerknes are asking for a judgment of no less than $75,000. They claim Bemidji area schools failed to investigate concerns that students are being targeted and sent explicit content. The complaint also states Bjerknes pressured kids into sending nude photos as well as sending videos while touching himself. Bjerknes was arrested and is now serving 25 years in federal prison.
They're doing the minimum they can possibly do, and what they need to do, they just need to spray every unit.
Inspectors determined that a West Fargo building at the center of a previous whistleblower story was infested with roaches. Today, the city and buildings management agree that the issue is getting fixed. But as Valley News Team's Joshua Pagero found out, tenants say there are no results and are still planning to move out.
Over the last few days, the city of West Fargo has inspected West Creek Crossing apartments after determining an infestation of pests. According to several residents, they were roaches.
I've tried calling them, haven't gotten an answer.
For Travis Wagner, it was such a problem he moved out before his lease was up and continues to pay rent.
I'm glad that the city's finally coming down on them, and it needs to be, done, because otherwise it's just going to get worse and worse, and the other people are just going to have to deal with it, and new tenants are going to have to deal with it, and that's not what I want.
Last week, Meridian Property LLC, which runs the building, told us that Wagner could contact them and they'd be willing to work with him. However, shortly after our interview with Wagner, he says he got a call from management telling him he's on the hook for rent until his lease expires in March.
It's really hard to get, in touch with management and stuff like that. Even on emails, you send them an email, you don't even get an email back most of the time.
We made several efforts to try to get somebody from the city of West Fargo on camera to ask him questions about this particular building, and they declined an interview. Management at Meridian sent us this letter from the city saying the case is closed on the roach problem. The letter also says residents never notified management of the infestation. But tenants we spoke to, including Wagner, say management ignored their calls and emails. In West Fargo, Joshua Pagero, Valley News Live.
A spokesperson for the city of West Fargo did get back to us saying that they'll continue to monitor the situation over the next few weeks. If you need help with an issue in your community, here's some advice. Call the Whistleblower Hotline. The phone number is right there on your screen, 701-237-6576. Call that number and leave a tip. A member of our investigative team will get on the case and go to work to expose the truth. The United States Senate has passed the United States-Mexico-Canada agreement. This new trade deal now heads to the president's desk for his signature. The Senate rushed to pass the trade agreement right before starting an impeachment trial against President Trump. The three-nation pact also needs Canada's approval to take effect. The deal opens Canadian dairy markets to American producers. U.S. senators today took the oath to become jurors in the impeachment trial of President Donald Trump, which will officially get underway in days. The pretrial proceedings continue as President Trump is pushing back on new allegations he was aware of pressure campaign on Ukraine. Natalie Brand has the very latest from Capitol Hill.
You will do impartial justice according to the Constitution and laws, so help you God.
Chief Justice of the United States John Roberts sworn senators as jurors in the impeachment trial of President Trump. Moments before, Roberts also took an oath to serve as presiding officer. Senators must still vote on the rules of the trial. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says that will happen early next week. Earlier, the 7 House managers once again marched across the Capitol into the Senate chamber, where they formally presented the articles of impeachment.
President Trump thus warrants impeachment and trial, removal from office, and disqualification to hold and enjoy any office.
The House impeached President Trump on charges of abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. House Democrats allege the president pressured Ukraine to announce an investigation into a political rival using military aid as leverage.
It's a complete hoax. The whole thing with Ukraine.
The Independent Government Accountability Office issued a legal opinion Thursday that the administration violated the law by withholding the military assistance. And Lev Parnas is talking to the media. The indicted former associate of President Trump's personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, claims the president knew about his efforts to pressure Ukraine.
President Trump knew exactly what was going on. He was aware of all my movements.
I don't know him. I had never had a conversation that I remember with him.
The White House questions Parnas' credibility. He faces charges in a separate campaign finance case. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Ukrainian officials have announced an investigation after House-released documents from Lev Parnas show the ousted former U.S. ambassador to Ukraine, Marie Yovanovitch, may have been under illegal surveillance. Some protesters on Capitol Hill today had a simple message: remove Trump. They unfurled a giant banner at the Russell Senate office building. Several dozen protesters surrounded the banner, also wearing Remove Trump t-shirts. Opening statements in the impeachment trial are expected to begin next Tuesday. North Dakota's Transportation Department has redesigned its homepage. It provides customers with a more visually appealing and user-friendly experience. While the site will feature a fresh new look, it will still contain all the same information as before. Officials say the site is now compatible with all platforms, including mobile devices and tablets.